what is the success formula behind your successful personal relationship with your wife?
Okay, and that's a great question, by the way. And let me tell you this. There is an ebook that I finished recently in our membership, in the growth membership that people can go and get. The title of the ebook is How to Balance Business with Relationship. What are the steps? And you got to understand whether you are a female starting a new business or a male starting a new business, the significant other, the spouse, doesn't receive this as a new business that my wife, my husband, my spouse starts. The first thing that the other person will receive, your significant other will receive, the first person that they will see is that you are taking time away from home, from the relationship, from kids, from activities that you are having together to go and start something new. Initially, the feeling, if they are not involved into that, is somehow, I'm not going to say exactly, but somehow the same feeling that somebody has when realizes that her significant other is having an affair. And the reason is because when somebody is having an affair, what's the number one thing besides ego? You know, my wife is with another man. That's the ego thing. But what's the number one thing that hurts you the most is that other man is taking time from you with your wife, with that person. Practically, that's the main thing. I'm splitting my time, I'm dividing my time that I had for that person with somebody else. Then it's the ego thing and the pride, you know, and that and this. But practically, that's the main thing. The same thing happens in businesses. Same thing. I mean, if I'm with you, if I'm working 8 hours per day, and then I'm sleeping 8 hours per day, and then 3-4 hours I'm with friends, then I'm giving to my significant other, to my spouse, another 3-4 hours. But now that I started this new part-time business, now that I started that and this, I'm dividing and splitting that time as well. So how do I fix this? Step number 1, in anything you do, include your family. Include your spouse in anything you do. It doesn't have to be a business. Let me give you an example. What do I love? I love soccer, okay? Recently I started going also playing paddle. The first time I went to play paddle, it was Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Usually Sunday morning, 10 a.m. I go for coffee with my wife. So now I'm telling her, listen, baby, tomorrow, is it okay we don't go for coffee together because I'm going to go and play paddle? What is happening in her head, in her mind? So he prefers paddle more than he prefers me. That's not true because I'm with you every day and I'm playing paddle once a week. But this is the first reaction of all of us. So he chose to go and play paddle instead of come and have time with me. So what did I do? I played paddle, and then I went back home and I described the game to her. So I included, even though she wasn't playing with me, I included her in the game. I go and I'm watching football games, right? And I may go on a trip just for my hobby to watch a football game. I will go home, I will tell her how the football game was. I will text her why I'm excited about that. Somebody that loves you, loves your excitement as well. So they want you to be excited. So one of the things that I do, whenever I'm doing something without her, I'm including her in that something. Make sense? Same with family. Now, kids, same thing with the kids. I'm including them on whatever I do, even if they are not with me. The second thing that I do, if they have to sacrifice something, I need to make it worth it. Let me give you an example. I'm having my goals, my personal goals, not my family goals, that I know that I need to go and chase and achieve. And I know that they need to sacrifice something, just like I have to. For example, it's time with my kids, it's time with them, it's whatever it is. Here's what I'm going to tell to Katerina. Hey, baby, listen, I know that this month I need to travel outside Cyprus 3 times. But here's what's gonna happen. Once I finish my job and I achieve what I have in mind to achieve, we will go to New York to celebrate together. 3-day celebration. And as a matter of fact, that conversation, I had it yesterday, because Katerina had to be here today, but her father is in the hospital, he's in coma, and the only reason she is not here is because she wants to be next to her father. And she went to she was planning to come here until Thursday. Her father opened his eyes on Thursday, okay, after being 10 days in coma. And she went to him and she said, "Hey Dad, Stavros is having a business in Croatia. I want to go there and support him for 2 days. Is that okay with you?" Her father couldn't talk because, as I told you, he was in coma, but he could communicate with eyes. So he said, which means obviously no. For whatever reason, he is afraid of something, he needs his daughter, which I respect and she should respect as well. Bottom line is that he said no, and Katerina respected that. She called me, she said, "Hey baby, I wanted to be there with you. I'm not coming to the event. And next week we were gonna go together, the 2 of us, on a trip in Athens. So we have to cancel that trip as well." So we decided to cancel that trip. But here's what I told her. I told her, "Hey baby, no worries about it. Let's pray your father will be well. Whatever is going to happen, by the time he's out of the hospital, by the time all this is behind us, we will go, the 2 of us, to New York, that I know you love New York, 3-4 days to have fun, just the 2 of us, no business, nothing, just to spend time." Now she knows, she understands that, yes, I'm sacrificing something, but I will celebrate something later on. So every time you're achieving a big milestone, whatever it is, if you want to keep your significant other, go and celebrate with him, with her. Make it worth it, because next time I'm going to ask her for something. I'm going to say, "Hey baby, now I need to go to Bali." She will say, "Yeah, go, kill it, and I'm waiting for you to celebrate your success." So you got to include them in the celebration. You got to include them in your business. Not necessarily you got to get them to work. They have their own businesses as well, but discuss those things with them. Let them know that it's important, because communication is everything. Now, what's the number one reason people get divorced or break up? What's the number one reason? Who can tell me that?
They don't communicate enough.
I will tell you what's the number one reason. Number one reason is change. Change is not lack of communication. It's not that they don't like each other. It's that they are growing in parallel paths. So in life, we know that we cannot stay the same, right? You cannot stay the same. Nothing stays the same. The technology is changing. The earth is moving. Everything is changing. Everything is different. So if you think you are not changing, I'm telling you, you are not the same. If you are not taking steps forward, without realizing it, you are taking steps backward, but you are not staying the same. Is that clear? So if you are not staying the same and you are not doing what you have to do to change, and things are changing, you will be left out of what's happening. You will be left behind. And as human beings, if I attracted you as a friend, I attracted you today because of who I am when? Today. Do you understand this? Have you attracted people 10 years ago that today you cannot communicate with them, but 10 years ago you had so much fun with them? What's the reason? You are changing in parallel lines. So the only reason why people break up, the only reason why people get divorced is because they are not growing together. It's not because of a third person. It will never going to be because of a third person. A third person will show up when you need that third person. Otherwise, we're never going to show up. So you need that. And why you need that third person? Because for that period of time, there is not any second person in your life. So it's not lack of communication, because the same people that you could communicate 10 years ago, you can't communicate with them today. What happened? You changed in parallel lines. So the only reason people break up, relationships, friends, whatever you call it, is change. You are changing in parallel lines. So my main goal is to try as much as possible, whatever growing I'm having in my life, to be at the same level that my wife has. Now I'm not gonna discount my growth because I want to stay with the same friends or with the same wife. I'm gonna push them to grow the way I'm growing.
To add to, because they learn 6 human needs, so they can tie that in with what we originally talked about on Thursday, is I shared with them, when I do marriage work with people, I say, okay, so on what a scale of 1 to 10, how certain do you feel? How uncertain do you feel? And as long as you're meeting your partner's needs at a 10 or even an 8, 9, or 10 or higher, growth being the need of the spirit, now you've got a map and you're moving in the same direction, to your point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I'm looking at the 6 human needs, every single one of us, we are, more or less, we all have characteristics of all the human needs, right? But for some of you, priority is certainty, some others uncertainty. That's why some people, they are working as employees. That's why some people, they are entrepreneurs. That's why. So when I'm looking myself naturally, without trying, because listen, you know what's right and what's wrong, but sometimes you need to consciously fight for what's right. And so, for example, love and connection, is it a beautiful human need? Yes, it is. Some people, they say, yeah, I don't have that need. I say to everyone, take somebody from Cyprus, okay, and put him in New York, Brooklyn for 2 years. Let him say, I don't have that need of love and connection. I'm telling you right now, after 2 years, that person from Cyprus is going to walk differently, is going to dress up differently, is going to talk differently, because of that need, love and connection. Because he's going to feel so lonely if he keeps having the same character, the same habits, and doing the same things that he used to do in Cyprus. So we all have that need. Now, when I see that, I consciously, from day one, I learned about those things, turn my focus, because this is what I wanted, to growth.
And we can tell that because literally your definition for a successful relationship is that you're growing together. You guys hear that? So
Yeah.
you're if you're paying attention, you can hear what's driving people, and he's clearly sharing that with you.
Absolutely. And it wasn't easy, because someone sees you today and they see the result, but they don't see the process. So they see what's good, but they don't see what's bad. Not what's bad, what's tough. What's tough. It's like Instagram today, right? You go on Instagram, you see all the girls are beautiful. You go on Instagram, you see all the people are wealthy. You go on how many people they are the broke Tony Robbins today on Instagram? How many people but because you're never going to record yourself when you are sad, when you are upset, when you are going through dark. You just record yourself and you post when things are good. So the result, people show the result when the outcome is what they want. But very few people, they will share the result when it's a negative one. So I'm saying that you see the result, but not the process. The biggest profit from the day I took that decision is definitely what I became, but also what I learned to become what I became. That's a huge profit as well. And my biggest fear was that you see me today, even today, I'm talking to you. The one thing that I don't want you to do is to see me at next event and say, okay, Stavros was exactly the same like the guy I met 3 months ago, 6 months ago. My number one goal is every time you see me to say, Stavros today was way different. from the Stavros I met 3 months ago, but in a good way. So I don't want to go on stage and share the same things that I shared at the previous event, even though I know the formula is the same, right? I just want to change not the message, but the way I'm going to deliver the message and make it better. The message is always the same. Because some people, they say, okay, but you're always telling us how to sell, how to do this, how to do that. Yeah, I'm saying, why did you come to see me? Why did you come to see Mark Caseda? Because someone's going to say, yeah, but it's still the gambler, the same. And my question is, yeah, but why did you come to see Mark Caseda? So how would you feel if there is a concert from Beyonce or Jay-Z, whoever, and you go there, and all the songs are brand new songs, and you don't know any of the songs he's going to sing, and you pay for that concert? How will you? The songs that made him successful are the songs that you are going to listen. So that's why the formula is the same. I'm not going to change the formula. I know we only had one question, and that happens to me very often. So let's get...
But many answers.
Yeah, many answers. So one more question. Yeah.
So my question is sort of financial and emotional, especially when we've your transition of going from the past to starting this new business, and how did you manage the emotions and the finances as you're going? Obviously, there were big challenges setting up this new business.
Okay, that's a great question. Emotional was a bigger struggle for me, and I got to be honest with you, financially, because I was in my previous business for over a decade. I was, from the first year, I started earning good money. Obviously, at the beginning, I didn't have the financial education, and I was spending my money. But then later on, I went to some Tony Robbins events, I went to Business Mastery, then I went to Journey with Marcus. So I went through some events, and I realized that the real wealth is not how much you earn, it's how much you have. Huge difference between how much you earn and how much you have. So I started investing my money, saving some of the money, but using my money in a way to earn more money. So when I had to start a new business, it wasn't a financial problem or struggle for me, but it wasn't emotional, because I was very attached with my previous. I was emotionally attached. I was in love with my previous business. So I have to tell you this. I didn't want it to finish. I was believing that that's going to be for the rest of my life. As a matter of fact, for many years, I was maxed out at the comp plan, and I never tried to do something else. I mean, I was earning the same money month after month after month after month, and that was against my number one human need. But I figured out other ways to increase my income besides that business, because that business was giving me a different type of satisfaction. It wasn't only a financial satisfaction. So anyway, long story short, what happened is I didn't want that dream business I had to go. So I tried to duplicate what I had in this company for a new company, which it didn't work. It didn't work out the way I wanted. And then I also realized that at some point, yes, I saved and I invested some money, but I need to start generating income. So I started building other businesses besides and outside network marketing industry, which I was. And then I realized, okay, now I'm making money, but I'm not having that satisfaction and the love and the connection that I had from that company, from that industry which I used to have. So what did I do? I came up with this idea. And I left behind me as much as possible things that I didn't like. The competition between some leaders, that compensation plan, which again, I love network marketing, but I do believe this can be something way bigger than network marketing. Network marketing is a great industry, I love it, but I do believe personal development, many people, they learn about personal development through network marketing, but I believe it should be something way bigger than 1 or 2, 3 industries, real estate, insurances. We can touch doctors, we can touch teachers, we can touch employees, we can touch anyone. So, and then the other thing that I was really in love was the culture, the trips, the fun. So we are introducing this right now to our community as well. So at the beginning it was an emotional hit, but very soon I put my shit together and I said, okay, what can I do right now? Here is what can I do to earn money, but here is what else I can do to fulfill my goal, to fulfill my dream. And I'm telling you, we are building Life Mastery for a year. I cannot say I don't have any money goal, because money is the easiest way to measure your success. Not the right, but the easiest. It's the easiest way to measure your success. So I'm not going to say I don't have any money goal. I do have, because that's how we will measure the success. But I don't need money from Life Mastery to live. I'm not doing this for money. My main goal is a creative goal. I'm doing this because of my creative goal, because I want to create something that I will leave behind me, because I want to create a legacy with this company, and I believe in everything we do. And we do have money goals. The only reason we do have money goals is because that's how you measure your success, and that's a way for us to grow, not to put money in our pockets, but the more money we generate, the more income we generate. Of course, we will put money in our pockets. Of course, we put money in other people's pockets, but we're also going to grow and run better events, do better things, have better services. We need that anyway. So, yeah, this is the answer. I know that we need to go back. People start coming. Thank you. I'm here for you guys.
1, 2, 3, Europe.
Europe. Thank you. Thank you.